Okay. So, you know how sometimes like the whole idea of learning English just feels kind of impossible?
Yeah, totally.
Especially if you don't feel like you're naturally good at languages or haven't been able to like do traditional schooling or live in a place where people speak English.
Yeah.
There's so many new words and the grammar rules are just
Right. It can be so overwhelming.
totally, it can feel like you're already drowning before you even start.
Exactly. You feel like you're in over your head before you even dip your toe in.
But what if we could find a way that's like a little bit less scary, you know?
Hmm.
A way that's maybe even enjoyable,
Right.
almost like a lazy way to learn English.
Lazy learning.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
think of it as a more relaxed approach to getting comfortable with the language.
Hmm.
Perfect for those of you who are busy or who just don't want to feel that pressure.
Totally. It's about finding a sustainable way that fits into your life without making you feel stressed.
Yeah. And that's actually what we're going to dive into today.
Hmm.
This idea of lazy learning.
Mm.
It's not about being lazy in sense of like not putting in any effort, but
Right.
more about finding an approach that actually works for you long term.
Exactly. One that feels natural and maybe even fun.
Right. And we're not just talking about some abstract theory here.
No.
This is based on a real story. Someone who actually got their bachelor's and master's degrees in English
Wow.
without doing the whole like living abroad immersion thing that people usually talk about.
Really? So they found a way to make it work without being surrounded by the language all the time.
Exactly. And that's what makes this so interesting.
Totally.
We're diving into a personal account that lays out this fun and lazy way to learn English.
Okay, so where do we start?
All right, so the first step might seem a little counterintuitive.
Okay.
It's all about embracing videos without subtitles.
Videos without subtitles.
Yeah, so basically you watch YouTube videos or other English language stuff
Yeah.
for at least 30 minutes a day.
30 minutes a day.
But here's the catch. You keep those English subtitles off.
Oh, so you're just listening?
Yeah, for like the first week or so.
Hmm. That seems kind of hard.
I know, right? It might feel like, how am I supposed to learn anything if I can't even understand what they're saying?
Exactly. That was my first thought, too.
But there's actually a really smart reason for doing this, especially if you're just starting out.
Okay.
Because when you're new to a language, seeing all those subtitles can just be too much information all at once.
It's like information overload.
Yeah, exactly. Your brain just gets overwhelmed.
Like too many words coming at you too fast.
Totally. So by removing the subtitles, you're actually taking that pressure off.
Okay, so you're not trying to understand every single word.
Exactly. It's more about just getting a feel for the language,
Yeah.
you know?
Like a sense of the rhythm and the sound.
Yeah, like you start noticing how English actually sounds when people speak it.
The natural flow of it.
Right? The way the tone goes up and down, and even just like their body language and facial expressions can help you understand a bit.
Does that make sense? Because sometimes you can tell what someone's saying even if you don't understand the words.
Exactly. It's all about getting your ear used to the sounds of English first.
And wouldn't that help with pronunciation too?
Totally. Because you're hearing how native speakers actually say the words.
Right, like training your ears to pick up on the nuances.
So after about a week of this kind of like immersing yourself in the sound of English,
Yeah.
the next step is to strategically bring back those English subtitles.
Okay, so we're not ditching them entirely.
Nope, but we're going to use them in a smarter way.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
So instead of just watching any video with subtitles,
Right.
you want to focus on shorter ones, ideally under 10 minutes.
Okay, that makes sense. Bite-sized pieces.
Exactly. Because it feels less overwhelming when you do start reading the words.
Less intimidating.
And the type of content you choose is important too.
Oh, how so?
Well, travel vlogs are actually a great option.
Travel vlogs.
Yeah, because they're super visually engaging.
Right, you're actually seeing the places they're talking about.
Exactly. So you're not just hearing the words, but you're also seeing what they're referring to.
Yeah. That visual context must be really helpful.
It is. It's like having extra clues to help you understand.
I can imagine, like, if you're watching someone explore a market, you can see all the sights and sounds, and it kind of helps you piece together what they're saying, even if you don't know every word.
Exactly. It makes the learning process more intuitive.
You're not just memorizing words, you're connecting them to real experiences.
Right. And here's another tip. Choose familiar topics.
Oh, that is smart.
So if you're watching a travel vlog about a place you've been to or are interested in,
Yeah.
you already have some background knowledge.
Right.
So it's easier to guess the meaning of words and phrases you don't know.
I see, because you can relate it to what you already know.
Exactly. Like you might think, oh, they're probably talking about that famous landmark I've seen pictures of.
That would make it so much easier to follow along.
Totally. And it gives you a confidence boost when you realize you can figure things out.
Yeah, that feeling of accomplishment is so motivating.
Okay, so we've gone from no subtitles to subtitles with engaging content.
Right. Building up gradually.
Now, step 3 might sound a little strange, but it's actually super effective.
Okay, I'm all ears.
It's all about the power of emotional mimicry.
Emotional mimicry.
Yeah, it sounds kind of weird, but bear with me.
Okay.
So you pick a short video that you really like, something you actually enjoy watching.
Okay, like a favorite YouTuber or something.
Exactly. And you watch it and repeat each sentence after the speaker.
Oh, like shadowing.
Yeah. But here's the key. You try to mimic their emotions as you speak.
So not just the words, but how they're feeling.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about putting yourself in their shoes and really feeling what they're saying.
That's interesting.
It might seem like a small thing, but adding that emotional element actually makes a huge difference.
How so?
Well, for one, it makes the learning process way more engaging.
I can see that it would be more fun.
Definitely. And because you're connecting with the language on an emotional level, it actually helps you remember things better.
Oh, because emotions and memory are linked?
Exactly. And the source for this actually talks about how they used to mimic their favorite YouTuber, Nigayiga.
Nagahiga.
Yeah, they would repeat his lines and try to copy his expressions, and they even ended up memorizing and acting out whole scripts.
Wow, so it really worked for them.
It did, and it helped them improve their speaking skills like crazy.
I guess because it's not just about passively listening or repeating.
Right, you're actively engaging with the language and feeling it.
It's like you're embodying the words.
Exactly, and that makes a huge difference in how you learn and remember things.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this all comes together.
So we've watched with subtitles, we've mimicked with feeling.
Right, building up our skills step by step.
Now, step 4 is all about having conversation
Conversations with
yourself.
wait, talking to myself.
Yep, you heard that right.
But that sounds kind of crazy.
You know, it might seem a little weird at first.
Yeah, like am I supposed to just sit there and have a full-blown conversation with myself in the mirror?
You can if that works for you, but it doesn't have to be that formal.
Okay.
The point is to just start talking in English about anything that comes to mind.
So like what would I talk about?
Anything, your day, your plans, something you watched or read.
Even if it's just random thoughts?
Exactly.
Yeah.
The topic doesn't really matter.
Okay.
What matters is that you're practicing speaking English out loud.
I see. So it's like a safe space to practice without feeling judged.
Exactly. There's no pressure to be perfect or grammatically correct.
Just let the words flow.
And just like with emotional mimicry, emotions play a role here too.
How so?
Well, the source mentions that their fluency actually seemed to improve when they were expressing strong emotions like frustration or excitement.
Oh, interesting. So it's like when you're really feeling something, it helps you find the words.
Yes, like your emotions push you to communicate more effectively.
And I bet it makes it more fun too.
Definitely. Because it's not just about reciting phrases, it's about expressing yourself.
Right. Using English as a tool for communication, even if it's just with yourself.
Okay, so we've watched, we've mimicked, we've talked to ourselves.
Right, a journey.
Now, after about 6 months of consistently doing these steps,
6 months?
yeah, it's time for a bit of a challenge.
Okay, what's next?
Diving into the world of English novels.
Novels. Whoa, that feels like a big jump.
It is a step up, but you've already built a solid foundation with the previous steps.
That's true. I guess I'm more ready than I thought.
Exactly. And the key here is to choose books where you understand at least 60% of the content.
60%. So not everything, but most of it.
Yeah, you want it to be challenging, but not so difficult that you get frustrated and give up.
Makes sense. You want to stretch yourself, but not drown.
And the recommendation is to start with fiction rather than nonfiction.
Oh, why is that?
Well, novels are usually more engaging and story-driven.
Right, they keep you hooked.
Exactly, and that helps you stay focused and actually enjoy the reading process.
Plus, I feel like novels use more conversational language.
You're right,
Yeah,
which is more helpful for everyday speaking.
that makes sense.
And the source actually mentions how reading English books help them improve their grammar and writing skills without even realizing it.
Really? So it's like absorbing the rules naturally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're seeing how the language works in context.
Instead of just memorizing grammar rules.
And that's so much more effective in the long run.
Okay, so reading is key for taking things to the next level.
Totally.
Right.
And it prepares you for the final step, which is
Drum roll, please.
creating your own immersion environment.
Immersion. So like surrounding myself with English.
Yeah, as much as possible. And this one can be the most challenging, but also the most rewarding.
Okay, so how do I create this immersion environment?
Well, the source actually enrolled in an English-taught bachelor's program.
Wow, that's a big commitment.
It is, but there are other ways to do it too.
Like what?
You could join online courses that are taught in English.
Oh, Oh, yeah, that's more accessible.
Or find a language exchange partner.
So someone who wants to learn my language and I can help them with English.
Exactly. You could also look for English-speaking meetups in your area.
I bet there are groups for everything these days.
Or if you have the opportunity, you could even try to engage with English-speaking climates or colleagues at work.
Okay, so finding ways to use English in real-life situations.
Exactly. The key is to put yourself out there
Yeah.
and actually use the language.
Even if it's scary at first.
And the source says that actively using English in these situations really accelerated their learning.
I bet because you're forced to think on your feet.
Right, and it helps you solidify everything you've learned.
Okay, so let's recap this whole lazy learning approach.
Okay, so we start by watching videos without subtitles.
Right, just getting used to the sound.
Then we add subtitles, but we choose shorter videos and focus on familiar topics.
And we use emotional mimicry to really feel the language,
Then we talk to ourselves in English.
expressing our thoughts and feelings,
After 6 months, we start reading English novels.
to see how the language works in a longer format.
And finally, we create our own immersion environment.
By putting ourselves in situations where we have to use English.
And the amazing thing is that this approach actually works.
It does. It's like a step-by-step guide to success.
And it's especially helpful for people who might feel intimidated by language learning.
Right. It takes away the fear and makes it fun.
So if you're listening and you've ever felt overwhelmed by the thought of learning English,
Yeah.
just remember, it doesn't have to be a chore.
Right. You can make it enjoyable.
Choose content you're interested in. Start small and gradually challenge yourself.
And don't be afraid to make mistakes.
Exactly. Mistakes are part of the learning process.
And who knows, you might even surprise yourself with how much progress you can make.
So think about which of these steps you can try today.
Yeah, even just one small step can make a difference.
Maybe you watch a YouTube video without subtitles, or try talking to yourself in English for a few minutes.
It's all about finding what works for you and making it a part of your routine.
And remember, learning English can be fun.
It really can.
It's about exploring a new world, connecting with new people, and discovering new possibilities.
And who knows where that journey might take you.
So go out there and give it a try. You might just surprise yourself.
You got this.